Hi guys, it's Designer Toy Love here. Welcome back to another video. I hope you're having a great day. This week we're going to be going over my Sanrio collection and just talking a little bit about the brand and why I started collecting and why I've stopped. So grab a drink, grab a snack, and let's get into it. Alright guys, as per usual, let me grab a couple of quick swigs of my coffee. That is the good stuff. Very good coffee today. But let's go ahead and talk Sanrio. So Sanrio was founded in 1960 by Japanese entrepreneur Shintaro Tsuji. And Shintaro envisioned and had kind of a mission for Sanrio. And it was his mission statement, if you will, was small gift, big smile. And so that has been something that's always resonated with me in the toy collecting space. You know, when we collect these toys, they aren't just meant to be like hoarded. I know that there is kind of like this very popular trend going on right now with all of these blind boxes and brands like Pop Mart and Kika Goods and 52 Toys to buy entire lines of toys and kind of have every single one of them, plus the, going to, spend sometimes hundreds of dollars to find like the secrets that come in them. And, I feel like Sanrio has always just resonated with me because of the fact that in Japanese culture, and something I wish that we would adopt a little bit here more in America, is, when, let's say you go and visit a friend, even if you just saw that friend last week in Japan, you might bring a small gift. You might bring like a small figure or like a plush or maybe even like a box of candy or something like that, just to kind of like show appreciation for your friendship and show that that you appreciate that that person is making time for you and taking time out of their day to see you and give you some of their time. And it's just a much more appreciative culture a lot of the time. And I think something that's getting lost in today's society is the whole act of giving in general. I think people are just hoarding collections of toys and plushes and figures and showing off their entire rooms, and they've got entire rooms full of every single series and every brand that you can imagine. And these toys and these figures and pendants weren't really meant to be hoarded that way, in my opinion. It was meant to, for people to maybe find, a handful of ones that they really liked and create more of like a curated collection and, actually have things that, don't just sit on the shelf and, don't just never get used. I think that something that I really like about my collection and what kind of sets me apart is that I only buy things that really resonate with me. And I'm not going to, sit on the internet and, wait for every launch to happen and be like, oh my God, I need every single thing that's coming out for, X, Y, or Z brand. Like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. I collect things that I really like and enjoy and, get some fulfillment out of. But I have to think to myself, when we've got this kind of culture of completionist collectors out there, what kind of hole are they really trying to fill inside of themselves? What need do they continue to try and fill with buying complete and entire collections and kind of just having all of these things just kind of be hoarded and just kind of sit on their shelves? and never get used, what is it that they're actually trying to do emotionally for themselves? You know, that's something that really has been a question in my mind a lot lately. But let's talk about how I got into Sanrio myself. So I wasn't allowed to collect Sanrio as a kid. My parents were like, absolutely not. Our son is not going to have anything Hello Kitty or Sanrio. And so, you know, I always loved it and I always wanted Hello Kitty stuff. I remember when I was a little kid, like, you know, going to the stores with my parents and just being told no, and sometimes crying or getting upset because I wasn't allowed to have, you know, girly things. It was just a big no-no in my household. I came from a conservative family where they were not going to allow me to express myself in the way that I needed to. And so a few years ago, back in 2019, my husband kind of sparked all of this off when we were on our trip to San Francisco. He had kind of just surprised me, and he went out and he bought me the cutest little blind box of Hello Kitties. And I love this Hello Kitty um, strawberry so much. She is so cute. And you know, she kind of sparked something in me where I was like, oh my God, I remember as a kid, I was never allowed to have anything Hello Kitty. And all of the sudden, it was like this explosion of wanting to watch any of the Hello Kitty cartoons that came out, and, you know, branch off into, you know, finding some animes, and, you know, are there any video games that are Hello Kitty inspired or Sanrio inspired that I can play? Like, it just kind of started this whole like revival of Sanrio and Hello Kitty, and really falling in love with the brand and the mission statement and what was behind this brand originally, because this brand originally was meant to, you know, maybe someone has one or two or five or six Hello Kitty things, you know, over the amount of, you know, 4 or 5 years or something. Maybe they get gifted some Sanrio stuff, and, you know, maybe they, you know, don't like one of their plushes as much, so they give it to their little sister or they give it to their friend. And this brand represents happiness and joy and giving and the small things. And I like that they have always kind of kept their price points to reflect that. However, let's get into the rest of my collection, and then I'm going to tell you why I stopped collecting Sanrio, even though I still love the brand. So let's start out with this Funko Pop of Chromie. It's the Chromie as a little demon, and I just love this version of Chromie. It's my favorite version of Chromie, with the little devil horns and her little like tail back here. And I really hope that the brand will make more kind of like devilish Kuromis. I think from, you know, watching the animes and really enjoying this brand for a long time, that this design is just so good. With the little red skull and the red horns, I just love it. I hope they do more of it. I'll also be ranking everything as we go. So 1 is going to be not my favorite, and 5 will be like close to my favorite. I'm gonna rank this at about a 4. So, oh, I forgot to rank the first one. This one is gonna be a 5. This is my first one and kind of made me fall in love with the brand to begin with. Let's do Bats. So this is my Bad Bats Mario. I got this from Five Below, I believe, and he's just like a little bobblehead. He used to sit on the dashboard in my car, but then his adhesive started to kind of like wear off. So he just started like flying around my car. So I had to go ahead and just place him with all my other figures and collections and stuff. But I love these bobbleheads. They're so cute. Next we have these squishies. I got this like in a 5-pack, I believe, also from Five Below. This is, of course, Cinnamon Roll. And I really highly recommend these. If anybody is like quitting any like sort of like bad habits, if you're quitting, you know, smoking or drinking or maybe like overeating, having something to like squish is so satisfying. And I just think that their little happy faces kind of like, I don't know, remind you to be good. But I have worn out like 2 or 3 of these, so I only have a few of them left in my collection. But I love cinnamon roll, so that's my cinnamon roll. Let's see, Choco Cat. We've got a Choco Cat here. This figure was so, I don't even want to know how much I spent on this figure because I had to look for him forever. And then by the time I found him, I was like in this bidding war. He's pretty cool. He doesn't stand upright very well. I don't know if anyone else knows this about Choco Cat figures, but they don't stand up very well because they're so top heavy. He tends to like fall over quite a bit. So I have to lean him up against something, but he's very cute. Let's see. I've got Kuromi with her little cotton candy here. I love this figure, but I'm not as crazy about figures that have small removable pieces. It kind of drives me nuts. A few of my figures have lost their little small removable pieces because it's really easy for them to just get knocked out and then get eaten by the vacuum cleaner or whatnot. So yeah, but this is Kuromi with her little cotton candy. And let's see, I only have one little twin star. I wanted to find the other one, and I went after blind boxes for a while trying to find it, and I just could not. So she's my only one, but I will be honest, I like the little twin star with the pink hair more than the little boy version of the little twin stars. But that's my little twin star. Let's see. We've got Tuxedo Sam, and this is my only Tuxedo Sam that I have, and he's enough for me. I love his little chubby cheeks and that he's just sort of like melting. He looks really cool on a shelf, and I like the size of these, that they're kind of like almost like beans, like pop beans a little bit. They're very cute. Let's see. I've got Kuromi here, and it's a very tiny figure. She's kind of like Tokidoki-esque with this little unicorn horn, and then she's holding a Baku stuffed like bear is what it's supposed to be, I think, and it is so cute. It used to be a keychain, but it fell off the keychain pretty quickly after getting it, and so now it just lives with all my other figures. Let's see. We've got Pachaco here, and I know that there's been some recent drama about Pachaco. Since the Labubu X Sanrio collab came out, I've noticed that quite a few people online do not like the Pachaco, and so I'm here to say that I love Pachaco, and I specifically love this figure because it is one of those ones that you like actually like build, and you know, I can take him apart. Ooh, there goes his ear. Let's see. We'll find that later. But this Pachaco is so much fun to kind of like sit and kind of have that like Lego moment where you like take them apart and you put them back together, and I don't know, it kind of fulfills that like little like Lego need of mine. Let's see. Pom Pom Purin, another little squish. Like I said, highly recommend the little squishy, like almost like stress ball kind of thing. He's super cool. I've got this cinnamon roll, and I don't display these ones that are like these like more like almost like memory foam plushes because, or toys, because I do feel like they get pretty dirty. Like they pick up dust like nobody's business, almost like a flocked figure. But this is my little cinnamon roll with his little star here, and I love him. He's so cute. Let's see. Moving on, I believe that completes... Oh, we've got one more figure here. So this was a figure I got from the International Food Store by my house. So it's just Pachaco with his little Tweety Bird friends up here. And I don't think it is like a confirmed figure, like or an actual like authentic Sanrio character. He does have like a little like some like little imperfections on his tail in the back, and I could probably just like take a permanent marker and like fix that and make the top of his tail black. But yeah, his feet are all right. He's just sort of like, I don't know, there's just something a little off about him, but he's still very cute, so he stays in my collection. And that does it for um figures, I believe. So let's fly into plushes. So I've got this plush pendant of Hang It On. I'm sure you guys have seen this. These are all over the internet. I love Hang It On, but this is my only like plush of Hang It On. I have some like cosmetic bags and like some bathroom stuff of Hang It On as well, but I just love Hang It On. He's so cute. I wish they would do more like current like Hang It On stuff for like an anime or a cartoon or something like that. I loved the Hello Kitty or the My Melody and Kuromi little cartoon that they just did on Netflix, and I wish that they would do something like similar with Hang It On. I think that would be really cool to kind of like revive Hang It On from the past. But that's Hang It On. And then let's see. I've got this little Kuromi backpack. I believe I got this at Walmart. And she's cute. She's got like some stations, like some mini stationery inside of her. But she's pretty cute. Sometimes I'll put her on my bag if I want like to make sure I have like a pen and like some paper with me that day. And then I've got my sweet piano kind of attached to her because I just feel like they kind of go together since they're supposed to be besties. So she kind of hangs out. She, I believe, is from Japan, this little tiny figure, and she's cute. I really like small, like, little heads and stuff. I know, maybe unpopular opinion, but I like the small little head plushes. Let's see. This is one of my favorites. Oh, shit, I forgot to, like, rank them as we're going. Well, I'm just going to show you my favorites at the end of the video because I'm not gonna restart at this point. But this is my Hello Kitty, and we'll do like a favorites list at the end. How about that? But this is my Hello Kitty. I got her, I believe, from AliExpress. She is another one where I'm like, I don't think that this is like an actual authentic kitty, but she's so cute. I love her to death. Let's see. This is My Melody, and this is probably one of my favorites. I just love her little heart eyes, and I think that they did such a good job of this plush. Love My Melody. She's probably my favorite, one of my favorite Sanrio characters. I mean, they're all my favorites. Let's be honest. I like all of them. Let's see. We've got Hello Kitty here as a... Ooh, these I got, I believe, from Target. We got this Hello Kitty here as like a little superhero. Came in a blind box. And then I also have her working out. I really like the working out one. I just love this little headband on her head, and these are super cute. Kind of expensive. I don't recommend these specific ones from Target just because I feel like the quality for what you pay is not my favorite. They're not like the softest. They're definitely just for like display. Let's see. I think that about does it for my smaller plushies. I do have one more that I'm not gonna show. It is like a similar Hello Kitty, except she's in her classic like blue overalls, and she lives in my closet on one of my bags. My one of my white bags. She goes perfectly with it. So now we're gonna move on to some bigger plushies. I've got this Gudetama. He is so cute. I love this like scrambled egg version of him with his little rice and the seaweed. So freaking cute. I love him. So we're gonna place him up here, and then if you watched any of my videos on TikTok, we already know that we have the Bad Bats, Maru, Care Bear figure, like collab, Bad Bats Maru plushie collab with Care Bear. But he is so damn cute. I love this glitter on his stomach. So cute. Let's see. And then I think this is it. The Crudaga, however you want to say it. The probably my favorite plush, the most expensive Sanrio plush that I bought. I think this was like 40 or 50 bucks. This is the cinnamon roll with like the actual cinnamon roll tail, and it is of course authentic Sanrio plushie, and it's just really soft. It's like this teddy version of cinnamon roll, and I love this cinnamon roll. It is so cute. But anyways, so let's do like a top 5, since I kind of forgot to rank them along the way. So I would say cinnamon roll takes my number 1 spot. I don't know, you guys let me know what you think in the comments. I think he's pretty cute, and like I said, he's my most expensive one, so like just quality and overall like feel and look and everything, he ranks really high. And then I would say probably my Bad Bats Maru Care Bear plush. I really like this little Care Bear, and if I ever like want like a little bear to cuddle, he is the perfect size, and it's really good texture. You can find these online for like resellers online. They're pretty cute. So we're gonna say that one's number 2. So we'll just go number 1, number 2, and then I would have to say probably my Melody plushie, plush pendant. She's so cute, and like I said, I love these heart eyes. Again, I'm not sure. Oh, this one is authentic, but she's very cute. She has this sort of like little like heart tag on her as well, and then she had a different like pendant on here that I have on one of my other bags. But she is my number 3. And then I'd say my number 4 is probably going to be this duo of these two. I just think that they're so cute together, and they're best friends. So they're my number 4, Miss My Melody again with My Sweet Piano. And then I'd say my number 5 is going to be the old school original Hello Kitty that got me into collecting kitties again. I love this little strawberry version of her with the purple eyes, with the little strawberry top there. I just think that they did a really good job. Strawberry Kitty is always going to be in my top 5 for my Sanrio characters. So let's talk now about why I don't really collect this line anymore. Here's a couple of extra things. But basically for me, like I was saying towards the beginning of the video, I think that collecting has gotten out of control for some people. I think that there is this pressure in the collecting community. If you aren't a completionist collector and you don't buy entire series of things and do full unboxings and then hunt for secrets and kind of make it your whole like personality, that you aren't part of the community. And I just disagree. I disagree with that in so many different ways, on so many levels, because for me, I think collecting is all about finding those specific things that make you happy, and what's gonna make me happy specifically might not make someone else happy. And maybe there's people out there that finding entire series, collecting entire series, that's what fills their need. But I have this sneaking suspicion that people that collect every single series, that go after entire sets, aren't collecting because they each and every figure and toy or plush has actually connected with them. I feel like it's more so just collecting to sort of amass an amount of stuff to show a certain level of um, status. And so it's kind of like this status, like kind of like flaunting your status. I feel like a little bit with some of the I call them completionist collectors out there. I consider myself a curated collector, and I promote curated collections on this channel, and promote people that do go after things that actually resonate with them, and not just to get things just because everyone else has them. Recently Labubu came out with a collaboration with Sanrio, and I'll be honest, I wasn't impressed. And I'm not gonna lie about it or sugarcoat it. I thought it was just Labubu in a fancy outfit. It was nowhere close to what we saw with the collaboration that Skull Panda, for example, with their Karomi and My Melody, kind of like complete, like combination of lines that they did. I mean, that was really like two brands meeting each other and then making something new that people could fall in love with. Whereas I feel like Labubu kind of, we already had Hello Kitty clothes for Labubu. You could already find similar clothes online if you looked hard enough before this line came out. And I just feel like with how many different characters there are too in Sanrio, giving us two different kitties in that Labubu collection was a miss. They could have included Bad Bats Maru. One of my other friends said that they could have included Karopi. Someone else said, why isn't there a Choco Cat in this line? I just felt like it was a missed opportunity, and kind of just like it felt, the whole thing when I look at it just feels kind of like rushed and a little gimmicky, if I'm being quite honest with you. But the main reason that I'm not collecting Sanrio anymore is because I feel like in the blind box community, in the designer toy collecting community, Sanrio specifically, the prices have gone up, but I feel like the quality for what you get and the design and the art isn't going up. And then I also feel like there isn't specifically any IP that I don't already have, or I don't already have a figure or a plush of that I'm really drawn to. With the exception, I'd say, of Hannah Maraboke. I think that that's a really cute IP for Sanrio, and I will probably be at some point getting a plush pendant or a plushie of Hannah Maraboke just to kind of like fulfill that little need that I have. But overall, I am not really planning on collecting Sanrio as much. And recently, my sister-in-law came to visit, and I actually gifted her some of my Sanrio collection, just a few things, because that is the point of collecting Sanrio, or at least that was the original point, was to be able to go and get a little bit of stationery, or maybe a couple little small figures, and gift them out to your friends and your loved ones, and to spread happiness and joy and create connection. And I think that that's what's missing from the designer toy and blind box community right now, is that people are so obsessed with chasing complete collections, showing entire rooms full of hundreds, if not thousands, of collectibles, and just kind of like showing their hoards. And that to me doesn't really resonate. That to me doesn't really make sense. These toys were designed to be small gifts to bring little pieces of happiness and joy, and to spread that out to people. So I will be gifting some more of my collection away as time goes on, and just kind of keep the pieces that really resonate with me, because they've already brought me joy, and so I want to kind of spread that joy out to other people. So that kind of does it this week for you guys. Sorry it was kind of like all over the place. I did get interrupted while filming here, but we got it done either way. This is this Thursday's video. I come out with videos every Thursday, so go ahead and hit like on this video. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, and I will see you guys next week for like an actual unboxing video. I just kind of wanted to get this video out there and kind of see what your see if you guys had any thoughts on it. Are you a completionist collector? Do you go after every single new drop, or are you more of a person that maybe only likes a couple of the figures or the plushes in a series, and just goes after specific ones? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!